It's the Jacksonville BUZZ. Amy West, Grant Smith, Adrienne Houghton. From Studio 2 at BUZZ TV, this is the Jacksonville BUZZ.
We've got a fantastic show lined up for you today. I'm interviewing Jordan Reemsnyder from The Potent Pig.
And we're talking bow ties and estate planning with Mark Moss.
I've got Ryan Winter from Giving House, and things get lively with Chris Thomas. Get ready for Valentine's Day. It's going to be a fun show.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville BUZZ. My next guest styles with a bow tie, and he's a new dad. But don't let that distract you. He's a compassionate voice that can help you with sound decision making when it comes to your family's estate. How do you protect your assets? How do you protect your memories? Well, he's here to answer all those questions and more. Please welcome attorney Mark Moss. How are you, sir?
I'm well, Grant. How are you?
Good to see you.
You too. Grant, I want to change things up a bit. I'm going to hit you with a few questions.
Okay, let's do it.
April 4th, 1968, and then fast forward almost 50 years, January 2nd, 2015. Those dates stick out to you?
They don't.
April 4th was when MLK was assassinated. January of 2015 is when the most recent lawsuit regarding his estate was dismissed.
Wow.
And that's exactly why I'm here, to talk about the importance of estate planning so that other people avoid those situations.
Wow, to put that in perspective, that makes sense why I don't see museums and a ton of footage on Martin Luther King.
Correct, there's all those disputes about the estate, who owns rights to it. It's feuding, that's why you don't see it. Now you will in about 15, 20 years though, when that copyright or trademark is expired.
Wow. So let's get right into it then. Let's talk about the tangible stuff. Let's talk about the assets. How can somebody protect those?
So those are protected through, with the estate planning, there's 6 basic documents. One of the best ways to protect them is with a trust.
Okay.
And one of the individuals or groups that's most important for estate planning is with women. Women live an average of 5 years longer than men. Women own 8.6 million businesses, generating roughly $1.3 trillion in revenue annually. But regardless of the generation, they're not involved with estate planning. So they need to know where those tangible assets are and how to protect them.
That's incredible. So that takes me to the intangibles, the memories. So how do people protect their memories?
And this is one of the most common questions I get with individuals, because the first thing is, I don't have enough assets, I don't have enough zeros after my name to need an estate plan. It's the intangibles that you want to protect. If something happens to you or your significant other and you can't raise your children anymore, who's going to instill those values? What values do you want to instill? You have those family heirlooms, those memories. How do you protect those and pass those on to the next generation, or are they lost forever?
So to get into a little more into that, people would then sit down with you and do what? Just get that on paper?
Absolutely. There's individuals that I work with that really they can do theatrical, cinematic photography and videography and produce a whole slideshow with pictures, family memories, or really sit you in front of a camera and let you just talk. And here's these stories, and these are why we do things this way, and here's the family recipe. Everything like that that is up here, you put down on paper or on video, and it's there forever.
See, now you're talking my language. Here's the family recipe.
Right, exactly.
And by the way, if you like the bow tie, Mark provided this today and tied it for me. This is pretty sweet. It's sushi. So Mark, how can people guarantee that our parents guarantee that their children are taken care of?
The best way to guarantee that is with an estate plan. And with that, a lot of times in a last will and testament, you would appoint guardians. The issue that arises is if something were to happen to you, let's say you're incapacitated, you're in a car accident, everything is great, you end up making it out, no big deal.
Right.
However, in the meantime, who's the guardian of your child? And let's say your spouse is traveling for work and they're not available. If you don't appoint someone outside of a last will and testament, that your child then goes to the state. So it's important, if you really want to adequately protect your child, to have standalone pre-need guardian designations. It's also important if you have children with intellectual or developmental disabilities specific and special planning is required because they are eligible to receive certain government benefits that are financially and means based. So if they inherit assets from you, from grandparents, in that kindness, they now are not eligible for those government benefits.
That's incredible. These are things that people just don't think about.
Absolutely. No one wants to think about the what ifs, but that's what I do every day.
So from your perspective, with everything you see, there's got to be an incredible story where you made a difference. Tell our audience maybe an experience or a situation.
Well, I like to think that I make a difference with all my clients, but
Of
there's some in particular that they grew up and their parents or their grandparents said, I'm not going to be around. It doesn't matter how things are dispersed. I won't be here to deal with it. Now, 20, 30 years later, they don't speak to their siblings. Their parents don't speak because of all the feuding. So one of the biggest things that I impact and try to instill with my clients is the importance of estate planning. And now you not only are, yes, you're not here to see how things are dispersed, but you're ensuring that there's no fighting, the family relationships, everything are still intact after your demise.
No doubt, and it goes back full circle where this interview started, those dates, those MLK dates.
Absolutely. That feuding, that fighting is continuing to go on, and it will until that trademark is done, and then we'll see what happens.
Mark, thanks so much for coming on. To find out more about Mark Moss and his law offices, go to thejacksonvillebuzz.com. Mark, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, Grant.
We'll be right back on the Jacksonville Buzz.
Greetings. Here is part 2 of the things we'll all be wearing in 2019. With our weather being so unpredictable, you can never be too prepared, and the chic summer weatherproofs are in abundance, from Marc Jacobs through to Athleta. The Western-inspired trend of fringe has not gone away and is continuing to adorn everything from jackets, skirts, handbags, and everything in between. Number 3, and this is my personal favourite and not one for the faint-hearted, vibrant, zesty neons are back with a bang this year after endless seasons of the fashion pack drooling over all things pastel. Number 4, bold shoulders are not new, but rather than padded or boxy, the new trend is a whole lot puffier. Gathered at the shoulders with pleats of elastic, they work well with square necklines on feminine dresses. And the final trend is sequins, offered up in endless incarnations, gently beaded in a jumpsuit or full-on in mini dresses, or even adorning what can't be without leggings. I'm Adrienne Houghton, and thank you for watching Fashion Focus.
Welcome back. The real estate market is in a good place right now. Did you know that if you buy your house, you can actually give back? And our next guest is going to tell you how you can do that. I'm welcoming my good friend, Ryan Winter, into the studio today. And Ryan, you've had a heart for giving back for a long time. Let's discuss that. Tell me where you conceptualized this idea.
Yeah, so thanks for having me, Amy. It's been a passion of mine to impact people outside of myself for years. When I was in college, I started an organization, a nonprofit organization called Water for All Nations, and I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, thought I could solve the world's water crisis, and I ended up living in Tanzania for about 6 months, and went there with about 2 questions, came back with about 2,000, and I hung up my hat with the water projects, because I realized that it was more difficult than I thought it would be to start a nonprofit. But I did learn that nonprofit leaders have a lot of really substantial needs, and I'm hoping to change how they raise funds.
Mm-hmm. You know, I feel what you're saying there. I've been there as well. Like when we're young, we want to give back, we want to change the world, and you go into it, and I've heard there are no failures. You're just learning, you're kind of failing forward. So it sounds like you took your knowledge there and you've segued it into finding an outlet where more people can give back, people that maybe didn't think that with those funds they could use them towards something good. There's something called cause-related marketing we were discussing, and you're seeing it more and more today in models like Tom's Shoes. So you buy a pair of shoes, they give a pair of shoes. How are you doing that with real estate?
That's right. So after starting the nonprofit, I got into selling houses and helping people buy and sell houses. And I'm with Keller Williams right now, and what I'm doing as a part of essentially my marketing and my way of connecting with my next customers and with charities is similar to Tom's Shoes. I'm saying if you buy or sell a house with me, I'll donate a big portion of my profits to a charity that you choose.
Wow.
Now, unlike Tom's Shoes, they're donating a pair of shoes, which is great, but I'm not donating shoes, I'm donating thousands of dollars at a time, and it's really a win-win-win scenario for everyone involved.
Well, that's really exciting. So you're donating a percentage. What is that percentage?
Yeah, so I donate 25% of what I take home, my personal commission, to the charities that my customers choose.
Well, that's a really great incentive to choose you as a realtor, because I don't know a lot of realtors, I don't know any that do this. So this is kind of a new concept and one that just sprung forth from your heart and from your desire to give back. So if someone was looking in the market to buy a house or to invest into something, they just come to you, and how do you process through that?
Yeah, so our hope is to build a community of givers. And the best place to get started in being a part of that community is to go to givinghouse.org. And it's not a nonprofit, we are entirely for profit, but our model is we're trying to take the for-profit sector and closely connect it with the nonprofit sector and kind of blur the lines between the two and just make it more of a symbiotic relationship.
I love it. So thus far, you have shared with me that you have already been able to give money back. Who are some of the charities and places that you've been able to give back to?
You know, one charity that comes to mind is Youthquake Live. They're a local charity here in town. They're kind of like a Saturday Night Live that impacts the lives of a lot of teenagers in town. They go around from church to church, and they were a big part of my life. So a couple of my customers said, hey, we'd love to donate to that charity. And I was like, great, I'm familiar with them. And we donated a good portion of my commission to that charity. It was really great.
That's got to feel so good. You get into your dream home, and at the same time, you get to give back to someone who's meaningful to you, that makes a difference, that you want to help change how they operate and help fund them. So is there like a structure? Do I have to choose someone that's under your umbrella, or can we just choose anyone to give back to?
Yeah, so as far as the charities that I'm willing to donate to, essentially, it's pretty open. We don't want to limit it. So really, we're trying to veer away from highly political organizations, but aside from that, it's fairly open. Yeah. So we haven't turned anyone away yet.
So you were discussing that you're really trying to help independent contractors understand how they can be more globally minded. And how are you doing that with what you're doing here?
So my hope is that my business can be a model for how other small businesses and independent contractors can impact the world around them, starting with their own customers, and really create a deeper relationship with their customers by saying, hey, yes, we're going to do business together, but also let's join forces together and impact the society around us by doing some good with our pocketbooks in a way that doesn't hurt.
I love it. Ryan, I always love seeing what's happening in your mind. You're always inspiring all of us and influencing us to help do better and to change and just to move forward and think about the world in a more global mindset. Thank you for coming and being on set today, and we'll be right back.
Mark, I understand there's a special you want to let our audience know about.
There is. Thank you, Grant. So for all the viewers, if they call in and schedule a consultation before the end of March, I'm offering $200 off an estate planning package, and they can call and schedule that at 904-748-WINS, that's 9467, or at markmosslaw.com.
Welcome back. He's one of Jacksonville's most famous entertainers. I'm joined in the studio today by none other than Chris Thomas from the Chris Thomas Band. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I'm pretty much fangirling right now. You are definitely one of my favorites.
Thank you.
Every opportunity I have to see you play is a joyous opportunity.
Thanks.
You really get everyone moving.
Thank
for
you.
those who may be new to your award-winning music, can you share with our audience the type of music that you play?
Our tagline is Sinatra to Soul. That explains it the best. So it's that diversified. So we're going to do everything from the height of music, as we like to call it, from the 40s and 50s, to Bruno Mars' latest album today.
And it all flows so effortlessly, and I think obviously that's because you know how to blend it all. But one thing that I've also noticed is you play with an 18-piece like huge band, but also you can narrow it down to just like a little smaller setting with just a few musicians, and every time I hear you play, like, it's always amazing.
Thanks.
So for what you're here today to talk about is for people who are looking for Valentine's Day ideas.
Right.
We have the ultimate party.
I think so. I
Yes.
think it's going to turn into the event of the year every year. It's our first year, obviously.
Okay.
So it's our Sweetheart Valentine's Day Ball, February 14th. We're holding it at Ephraim Hall. And what a great spot in Jacksonville that a lot of people don't know about.
I have never been.
Yeah, 7,500 square feet.
Gorgeous.
The floor is already intact. I mean, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous facility. It's right past UNF on the left-hand side, like if you're headed towards Beach Boulevard.
Okay.
Very easy to get to. Tons of parking. So we're really excited for them as well. We've done a couple of events there, private events, but it was a no-brainer for our team to pick
And will
that.
this be a dinner too? So they're going to have...
So what's great with that is that so that we can, to your point earlier about how we keep it moving,
Yes.
we stay within that theme. And so we've collaborated with Chef Roy, Dewan Roy, who's everybody knows in Jacksonville. But he's doing his take on a heavy hors d'oeuvre, and they'll be actually brought out to where people could just pick, and so it's not sit
Very
down.
nice,
It
like a
allows them
hand
to-
pass. Okay.
Allows them to be on the floor, and allows them to go to the bar.
Because you're there
get
to
drinks.
dance, my friends.
Oh, yeah.
Wine, dine, and romance, and
Exactly.
dance on the floor. But also, it's for a great cause. Tell us about how you're giving back.
So we befriended Judy Sotelo a few years ago, who's just such an inspiration. I mean, it's hard for me to talk about her. It gets me emotional, but she's been just such an inspiration. So she was a big component behind the J.T. Townsend Foundation, Champions of Hope. Champions of Hope is a collaboration between J.T. Townsend and the Zatello Funk Foundation. So J.T. Townsend, a lot of people know his story. If not, it's out there. Not to diminish it, but I know we're short on time. So, but they assist families who have someone who from the neck down is paralyzed typically, and other forms of paralysis. So everything that they might need. The Zatello Funk deals directly with pancreatic research.
Okay.
Very specific, very unique what they've created, actually bringing lawyers in and creating contracts with Mayo that all the money raised goes directly to research and not just thrown at it.
Wow,
So
that's
it's
huge.
really powerful. And Judy's own story is such an inspiration about what she battled with pancreatic cancer, beat it, and it's back again. But, I mean, she'll beat it again. There's no question. So phenomenal. So we're all in, totally behind her, and the money from that evening is going to that. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Well, you guys are so great about giving back. That's one of the things I love about Jacksonville as a whole is people
Agreed.
are always eager to give back and to help out the community, and you guys do it so well.
Thanks.
You have won so many awards, so many best ofs in Jacksonville. So
Thanks.
if you guys haven't seen Chris Thomas play, this is a perfect opportunity to do it and give back.
Thank
What are tickets costing, and how can people find you?
Go to thechrisThomasBand.com. Quick and easy. It's right there. They just click on either ticket. There's a $75 ticket and a $125 ticket.
Okay.
All the explanation of what they get within those tickets is right there. Yeah, I mean, the blessings are just amazing. We had a gentleman yesterday purchased a whole table to come and be a part, and it's just an all-around good evening.
That's right.
I mean, it just
it's going to be a
is.
hit. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
looking for a way to sweep your love off your feet,
Yeah,
this is a
man.
never fail way to do it.
Yeah.
So, just a quick question for our audience: do you have a favorite song that you perform?
Oh gosh, I would say it's a romantic song.
Okay.
Not that I'm into romance. I just want to be perfectly clear about that. No, I'm just kidding. But it's called "Save Your Love" for me, and it's a tune that I should know who wrote it, and I don't. But Nancy Wilson, who just passed away actually this past year, 82. Great life, great musician. The first time I ever heard it was by her. And then Jose James, who's a very current artist right now, is phenomenal. Put together an arrangement that we fell in love with. So it was a perfect marriage, and I would say that's probably my favorite to do.
So you'll be singing that one on Valentine's Day, I hope?
You know, if the band lets me.
If they let
If the
you.
band lets me.
If they let you. And just a little secret for those of you who may not know, not only are you an excellent singer and performer, but you're also a ballroom dancer.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. That's my real job. Actually, I'll go there right from here. I was there this morning. But yeah, I've been blessed to be a teacher for over 20 years. And right now, I just recently retired from the floor to just work on the businesses, because we have a location here, Monarch Ballroom. We have one here, and we have one in Tallahassee. And this week, we're looking at a spot in Atlantic Beach. So we're the company's growing. So
Okay,
it's just
I'm
great.
ready. I'm ready to come and dance, and
You
I'm
heard
ready
it
to
here,
come and
ladies
party
and
with
gentlemen.
you. You'll be seeing me there.
We'll Instagram the heck out of it. Yeah.
Chris, thank you for joining us today, and I can't wait to have you back. For more information, visit jacksonvillebuzz.com. We'll be right back.
Text BOOST to 82257 for your chance to win a free See Me Boost and a 30-minute service upgrade.
Nothing adds that perfect finishing touch to make a house feel exactly like a home than a beautiful scented candle. And my next guest knows all about pouring, dipping, and wax, and that's Jordan Reemsnyder from The Potent Pig. Welcome, Jordan.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm delighted to have these beautiful scented candles here in front of me. Now, tell me, first of all, how did you get involved in candle making?
So one of my friends started doing it, and I was really interested and started asking a lot of questions, and she was like, you should just try it. So I went to Michael's and got all the stuff, and I wasn't always the Potent Pig. I used to be Joe jars, and I was doing them in mason jars. And then as I got, more into the scents and more into the quality, it kind of developed into the Potent Pig.
So you had no formal training. You didn't go to any classes. You just got the books and things and read about it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of mistakes, or?
Yes. My first time pouring, I got it all over my floor. It was horrible.
Oops.
And it's really hard to get wax out of anything. So I don't know if you've ever spilled wax on anything. Hopefully
actually
not.
over a tablecloth normally.
Yeah, so it took me like 2 hours with my hairdryer just trying to remelt it. And
oh, golly.
so yes, mistakes along the way. And then, like anything with experience, you learn how to perfect the trade. So
okay, so the Potent Pig, I mean, it's not exactly, Joe jars makes sense. Your name's Jordan, so.
Yeah, so I kind of, from the transition from Joe jars to Potent Pig, there was kind of like a year in between where I just stopped making them. And when I wanted to get back into it, I wanted to rebrand a little bit. So my dog is kind of like a pig. So that's where it came from. So that was serious? Yeah, Bowser. So that just stuck in my mind, the pig. And then I was playing with alliteration, and potent and candles made sense. So
and that was it.
It just kind of stuck, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've heard some strange ones, but that's a good one. So, does Potent Pig have a signature scent?
Yes, it does actually. It's the grapefruit spice, which is the love candle.
Ah.
Yeah.
Grapefruit spice. So, tell me what goes into that.
So it's like grapefruit, citrusy, orange top notes, along with cinnamon, and kind of like a nutty undertone. So I made that scent up myself, which I'm actually very proud of, because everyone likes it, no matter if you like sweet candles or more like earthy candles. Everyone loves it. So that makes me really happy, and it was actually inspired by my mom. She found this scent in South Africa. It was a body wash, and so I just tried. I got like
to replicate it.
Yes, I got like 20 cents and was mixing and stuck on something.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell me the process of producing a Potent Pig candle.
Yeah, so I'm in my kitchen, and there are these little metal tins, and I've gotten to where I can eyeball it. So if I'm making 10 candles, I know how much wax to put in the tins. If I'm making 1 candle, you put the wick in, you heat it up to a certain temperature, 185 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you put the scent in, mix it, let it sit, and then you pour it in the jar.
As simple as that? Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's not actually that simple, because there's a lot of problems. What makes a really good candle? Because you have to have the right thickness of wick, don't you? And the right kind of wax.
Yeah.
And also the ratio?
That was another thing I had to play with a lot. The wicks are very important. I use cotton natural wicks, because you'd be surprised about how many people really care about, the natural things that they're putting in their homes. So I had to play with the wicks, the right thickness, the wax. I used to use paraffin, but soy is better for the environment. If you are breathing it in, so it is better for the environment and for yourself. And the scents were another thing. I had to getting the right amount of oil to get the right scent.
And is it
very
a
important.
specific type of oil? Does it have to be a particular strength?
Yes, I use my supplier's called Candle Science, and so they're very trusted throughout the small candle shop businesses. So I love them because they have really good quality oils.
Good quality.
Yeah.
Now, you're available online, but do people see you at market or?
Yep, I do the North Beaches Market in Atlantic Beach, and yeah.
Fantastic.
And Instagram. I get a lot of hits on Instagram.
Oh, I'm
more
sure.
people than my website, actually.
I think it's much more popular nowadays. So, do you personally have a favorite scent?
The grapefruit spice is up there.
Yes, I'm sure.
That would probably be my favorite. And rosé is another one that I just started making.
As in rosé?
Yes.
Oh,
rosé.
Interesting. Interesting. And
Yeah.
your 3 most popular scents?
Grapefruit spice, vanilla, and
Vanilla?
Yeah.
Wow, that blows me away because I just find that that's such a common smell now.
Yeah, people love it though. The classic. And then I have one called Under the Boardwalk, which is earthy and fruity that people like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And if you would like to know more about the Potent Pig, then please visit the Jacksonville BUZZ. We'll be right back after these messages.
If you're like me, you like to indulge in a little romance every day, but if the big V Day leaves you scratching your head for inspiration, I have you covered with 3 exceptional romantic escapes just in time for Valentine's Day. First, continue your education in love at the Brazilian Court Hotel in Palm Beach, Florida. During the Lessons in Love Escape, you'll enjoy ballroom lessons, cooking and wine pairing lessons, and sailing lessons. You'll even enjoy an in-room couples massage complete with tips on how to step up your massage game at home. For some West Coast vibes, head to Hard Rock Hotel in San Diego. In addition to champagne and chocolate, the Searching for Love Escape gets interactive with a specially curated scavenger hunt throughout the hotel. You can even include a personal message that will light up the end of the hotel. Proposal, anyone? And finally, head to the Mexico Beach Resort in Playa del Carmen, Mexico for a little privacy. During the Privacy Please getaway, you'll enjoy a private bungalow with your own personal pool, a couple's cabin at the Revive Spa, and a romantic toes in the sand dinner right on the beach. This has been your Amy West Travel Minute. To find out more about this topic, visit amywesttravel.com. I'm so excited about all the ways to give back with Giving House, and I know where I'm booking my Valentine's night with Chris Thomas, of course.
And we learned so much from attorney Mark Moss on estate planning.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, the smells from those beautiful candles from the Potent Pig. Thanks for joining us this week. Bye for now.